Ich habe Götter fliegen sehen. Ich habe gesehen, wie Männer Waffen bauen, jenseits meiner Vorstellungskraft.
Aha.
Ich habe gesehen, wie Aliens vom Himmel fallen.
Yeah.
Aber ich habe noch niemals so etwas gesehen. Was verbergen Sie noch?
Hold up.
So let's greet each other.
Wakanda forever.
Amazing. First of all, congratulations on the film. I loved it. I really loved it. I don't know how they do it at Marvel, but once again, they knocked it out of the park. So what exactly drew you to this particular project?
It was a real no-brainer. I mean, once I sat down with Ryan, at first when I heard about it, and I was, they said, we have this offer for you. I was like, what? I was so confused. I was like, Marvel? But then, the idea of Ryan Coogler and Marvel coming together, I mean, I was like, wow, that just sounded astounding. And then sitting down with him, being that, we're both from the continent, and it's very important how stories are told from there, and hearing how he was going to do it and how he'd, done so much research and was pulling from such really authentic places to bring it to life. I mean, it was really exciting. And then the description of my character, I mean, it was an absolute no-brainer.
Yeah, when I met Ryan when he was promoting Fruitvale Station, his first film, and I knew then that this was a director I wanted to work with. And so when he called me up to talk to me about Nakia and the story, I remember he walked me through it, and I just thought, is this a Marvel movie? Because this is quite something, This is a deep, politically and socially very awake and aware film. And Marvel had said yes to his idea, and I said, well, of course I want to be a part of that, because it's fresh, it's new, it's exciting, and it's African people like we don't get to see them in a world of fantasy, in a world where they are the aspiration, and of course I wanted to be a part of that.
What a comic book, drew me to the project. I knew this if there was ever a Black Panther movie, that it had the potential to be something groundbreaking and be something that people have never seen. Just because it's the most technologically advanced nation on the planet, and you have this king / superhero, you just say that and you're like, that would be really, really cool. And so when they called me and said we're interested in bringing this into the MCU, I didn't have any questions about whether or not I wanted to do it. I didn't have to read the script. I didn't have to know the director. I just needed to know it was this story and that it was Marvel, and it was in particular the MCU. And I said, yeah.
Wir sind zu Hause.
I loved you in it. You are probably now my favorite MCU villain.
Means a lot, man. I'm glad you dug it, man. Appreciate it.
And talking about villains, your character is a very different kind of villain, because you do empathize with him, you do understand where he's coming from. You don't necessarily condone his actions, but how do you see him?
I see him as a very complex, multi-layered antagonist that has a lot of valid points, but at the same time, he's challenging T'Challa on a lot of things that he believes in, and they're having a necessary conversation between the two.
Darauf habe ich mein ganzes Leben gewartet. Eine neue Weltordnung. Ich brenne alles nieder.
Were you fans of the Marvel Cinematic Universe before you became part of it?
Yeah, I love Iron Man 1, and then every film that came out, I'd be like, oh, let me check it out. I love Spider-Man: Homecoming, and so it's they make great films, and that are superhero films, but are grounded in truth and feel like part of the real world. And I always love filmmaking like that.
Hated them, man. Hated. Never watched a Marvel film ever in my life. Yeah, man. I grew up reading comic books and loving it. I've done a Marvel film before. I did it again. I had a lot of fun, man. It's the Marvel universe is amazing. So to be a part of that family is definitely a blessing, man.
Mein Sohn, deine Zeit ist gekommen.
Show me my respect and bow down.
Du musst entscheiden, was für ein König du sein willst.
If you could pick another character out of the Marvel a variety of characters to interact with in maybe a sequel, who would you pick?
Spider-Man.
Captain America.
Hulk.
Oh boy, I don't even know if I should answer this. You know what would be interesting? Like part of is, and I'm not saying this because this is even in this is even a possibility, but you could definitely pull because of the espionage aspect of this movie. You could pull Black Widow in. Obviously, you could pull Cap into it. You could pull Iron Man into it. It's possible. So.
Bleib cool.
Ich bin immer cool.
Is there anything you can tell me about your particular role in Infinity War?
Nah. Get this man a shield. That's it.
Okay.
That's all you get.
Evacuate the city. Engage all defenses. And get this man a shield.
I want to ask you guys that personally. I mean, obviously, people know you from The Walking Dead and you're Maz Kanata on Star Wars. Has it sunken in that you guys have become nerd icons?
Yeah, I think, well, no. I mean, probably not. There's a beautiful, wonderful fandom around The Walking Dead that I've been fortunate enough to experience for some years now. I guess the idea of what you just said, I guess it'll come in time to realize that these are two things that have great fandom. But yeah, it's interesting to hear that.
Yeah, I mean, I being Maz Kanata is cool because I'm not actually in the movie. Like, she is an orange little lady. So I feel like I've gotten. This is like, I feel like this is a little different because now it's my face. The diehard fans know that I'm Maz Kanata, but I get away with being in Star Wars, but not being a part of the larger frenzy. This is definitely a new phase for me in terms of geekdom.
Black Panther.